Okay. Um. Yeah. Welcome to today's stream. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is King. I am streaming from Nigeria. Um. What do I want to say? Just yes. Please like, subscribe, support the channel. I have a coffee in the description of this video. If you want to leave me a tip, you know, it will go a long way. Yeah. So welcome to today's stream. It has been raining as well today, but right now it's not raining. Yeah, so that's good for me, I think. The majority of my light source is from the sun, with the door open, but there's also so much distracting noise. I don't know, maybe I should just close the door. Let me close the door so that the noise does not distract me. So it is a lot darker, but I think it is much less distracting for me, especially. Yeah. So I've been working on my project, and this is how far I've come. I've come so far. It is a tote bag, it's not a skirt. I just keep looking at it with so much adoration because it looks like a frilly skirt, but it is not a skirt. It's a tote bag, and I'm supposed to get to 32 rows, but here I am with my wool at its tail end. I feel like I have another, roll of this same wool, but I don't know where where I kept it. I didn't even like I was so busy yesterday I didn't spend time looking for my poster that I wanted to use to decorate this wall, but I'll have it in mind. I'll search for it and find it. Five. Two, three, four, one, two, three, four, five. I think I made a mistake here. Hello, Alafi. I'm fine. How are you? How are you? Fine. Thank you for asking. You can call me King, if King is an alien, it's too much. You can call me King. One, two, three, four, five. I'm working on something, 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 something. How are you? Where are you from? Alafi. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. One. Please like, subscribe to the channel. That would be so wonderful. One, two, three, five. I think I'm correct. I think. Thank you. Thank you, Alafi. Hello, Daryl from the Philippines. My name is King. I'm from Nigeria. Thank you, Alafi, for the compliment. I hope I'm able to complete it. One, five. I think the Philippines experience like strong rains, yeah. So I wonder if you guys are experiencing rains now because our season is upon us. Our rainy season is upon us over here. So there's a lot of rains. One, two, three, four, five. So I'm supposed to talk about this um, book that I started reading here. I've been introducing it almost every stream. One, two, three, four, one, two, five. I've been introducing it almost every stream. Is the title in of the stream here, Golden Ass. It's by this man named Apuleius here. And because like I was talking about it on stream here, someone that was very familiar with the book and the author told me about the background of the author, of how he was an occultic man. Like he dabbled in the occult and he used a spell to make his wife fall in love with him. And again, if you look, when I went to check it out here, it was true here. And it was the family of the lady that made that complaint against him. He even had to go to court to defend himself here from the witch hunt. And it was funny because like even the way he defended himself, he didn't like hire any legal counsel here. The way he defended himself was so legendary, I guess, that it is all compiled in one book called Apologia. Yeah, so I want to read that book. And then this book I have, The Golden Axe, is also called Metamorphosis, which is accurate because the main character here, changes it from a human being into a donkey and goes on this whole like journey towards finding the cure for the issue he found himself in. And the cure is that he just has to eat a bunch of roses here. But the thing is that nobody's going to allow donkeys to feast on their rose bush or their rose gardens, yeah. And it's like also in those days, yeah, like um people took like their, I'm not saying people don't take it seriously now, but people took like growing a garden or keeping a garden and, as part of, a sign of their class, their, the beauty of their house, their station in life and all of that. So why would a random donkey come in from the streets and eat the roses? So it's supposed to be this challenging thing that happens to this man that is not a donkey, yeah. And when I read the solution, I was like, okay, that would be easy, just feed him roses, yeah. But the person that's supposed to come and like feed him roses, yeah, could not feed him roses because bandits attacked the house where he was staying and they stole him as, a property of the person they were robbing. So he starts to go on this like wonderful adventure. So yesterday when I was talking about it on stream, one of my subscribers was like that I need to start telling the story, as I should start ask me to narrate it here. But the book is very like verbose. There's a lot of words involved, and the storytelling. Like this author is from Greco-Roman times, yeah. And so their style of writing then is not the same as contemporary writers of today. Even his own style is more convoluted than, how to say it I don't want to say timelines or time periods, I'm not sure, but like Shakespearean times, yeah. I think he's before Shakespeare era. You know how convoluted Shakespeare's writing is, yeah. So his is more convoluted than that. So like instead of like narrating um the way I narrated um the kite runner, yeah, if you were here for that, instead of narrating it that way, I would just I'll just take everybody on the adventures that this donkey is going on, starting from when he was a man, yeah, and how his story started. Then I'll keep going from there. Hello Rahul, welcome to the chat. Hello Tristan from Kentucky. I've never had somebody from Kentucky. How is it over there? This is Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. My name is King. Welcome, welcome. How is it over in Kentucky? I think this is the beginning of fall here, fall season over in America. We don't experience fall here. We just have two seasons, like raining seasons and dry seasons, yeah. And we're in the rainy seasons right now, so two, three, four, five. I'm also working on this thing. I want to focus on it. Hello Wes, welcome to the stream. My yarn has almost run out, so I want to finish up with this yarn. Where are you from? I don't recognize that flag. Big muscle. I don't know about that. What flag is this? West. Where is it from? Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, like the chat, support the channel. I have links that you can donate to if you want. So, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but I don't really ask about people's ages on here, so I don't care as long as you're a full-grown adult, yeah, and you're not a minor. I don't talk about age on my chat. Age and marital status or dating status, don't ask me. I wonder what shows people are watching right now. For me, I'm keeping up with Peacemaker and Gen V, and then Korean dramas that I'm watching right now: Tyrant Chef, um, My Troublesome Star. What else? What drama else? What other drama I'm watching? Last night I watched this movie by Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. There will be blood, and I'm actually confused about that movie. To be honest, was Paul and Eli like were they twins? I don't like. There's something that is kind of glaring at me. I know, but I don't know. I don't. I'm kind of missing it. You know, like when Paul goes to meet Daniel and says to Daniel that, hey, so this land has oil, you know, and pay me $500 and I'll show you the land and all of that. And I think he pays Paul $500. But then when he goes to the land, when Daniel goes with HW to the land and he sees the oil, he sees another person and we see Eli, you know, and they have the same face. And I'm like, are they twins? So during as the movie goes along, there's this section where Eli is beating up his own father, Abel, and he's telling him, you are a foolish man, and because you're a foolish man, your son has, you know, made a fool out of you, Paul. And Paul has cheated us and blah blah because Daniel refuses to pay the $5,000, you know, he promised Abel to pay for buying up his property. And they keep on waiting upon this $5,000 until the very end. Like, and then I see after everything happens, Eli travels from the States and he's like going off. And I still think in that moment I felt like maybe finally Daniel has paid 5K to this family, or to Eli at least. No, because later when Daniel is old and decrepit and he's a miserable old man in his house, Eli still comes to visit him and Eli is asking for money and Eli does everything he says. And then Daniel flies into a rage telling Eli that, Eli, you know, I already paid Paul, that you are the useless brother. I've paid Paul $10,000 in cash. And I was like, when did that happen? When did that happen? I don't understand. Like, I feel like I wanted to, after watching it, I was so stumped. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to check out another, like I wanted to check online reviews of the movie, or at least somebody's like conclusion of the movie, yeah. But like I forgot. I wish I checked this so I can talk about it today. But I'm curious if anybody has watched There Will Be Blood, yeah. Like if you've seen There Will Be Blood, what is your takeaway from that movie? Yeah, I'm curious, like why? Why did what happened happen in the movie, yeah? And why did um why did we never see Paul again? Okay, there's the assumption that Paul ran away, you know, from the family with that money, and it's like fine. But why was Eli begging him? If it's Paul that took the money, why was Eli so like, how to say it? So, you know, apologetic in a way towards Daniel, begging him for money. I was like, why? I don't understand, yeah. And then he stayed begging until Daniel killed him. And I was like, ah, I don't get. So the way it happened there, the way it read for me was that if Eli was so, you know, apologetic and all of that, it feels as if Eli tried to con Daniel, yeah, and pretend that he was one brother and then he was another brother. But he was talking to, when he was fighting his father, there's acknowledgement of Paul, and we never see Paul again. And then in the future, there's still conversation about Paul and how Paul took $10,000 from Daniel. You know, I don't know. The reason why I even watched this movie was because I saw some conversation about it online, and people were talking about it in the sense of, oh, 5 star Paul Thomas Anderson, you know, his work. And I was like, okay, let me check out this director here. And they were giving it 5 stars. And I was like, I get the stories, and like I feel like the story is a heavy one, and the story was well shot. The movie was well shot, and like all the characters were fully fleshed out characters. It's just that sometimes American cinema, or should I say Western cinema, the way fans of Western cinema praise the the production and the movie itself, the stories that they tell. Sometimes I feel like there's a whole world of conversation, that is being had that I struggle to grasp. Yeah. And I feel like it's because of the cultural differences, yeah, between, the West and where I'm from, yeah. And it just feels sometimes like what is being said is flying over my head, yeah, like the things that matters to them, their values, the way they judge, morality, the way they see the world, and the way they tell their stories is very different from the way we tell our stories in this side of the world. Yeah. So when I engage with the cinema, it shows, when I like complete a movie that everybody's praising, and I'm not saying it's not what they praise. I'm just like curious what these people, you know, gleaned from this story, and why it was so impactful, that they had to give it, or they are giving it so many awards and such high praise. I just want to know. And I know sometimes there is this critique here that people have of other people that be like, oh, you're going online to get your own understanding of the world from people online, or people that have already like said it. And it's like, I get that critique, like, oh, form your own or the original thoughts here, but it's like I feel like it's also very helpful for people that are coming from my angle, yeah, that, oh, okay, I don't understand what this person was trying to say. So the way There Will Be Blood goes, which one thing I want to say I really enjoyed was that, like, I have to admire. Okay, obviously this story was adapted from a book called Oil by Upton Sinclair. Yeah, I like that name, Sinclair. So what was I saying? It's an adaptation, yeah, and I love the idea, like, of how the story came about, yeah, where this story is centered around a silver miner and oil prospector. You get, in those days when people were busy looking for minerals in the earth, and looking to make it big, make a bang of wealth and all of that. And like, I like the idea that there's a story there, you know and then I read the summary from the site I was watching it from, and I feel like the summary did not do it justice. The summary was saying that the feud grew between the preacher Eli and Daniel, the oil prospector. And I was like, okay, Eli was going to be this combatant, personality that's going to give Daniel hell. But it was the other way around. At the end of the day, the way I saw it was that Daniel became, like, not became, but Daniel was this antagonistic character, this person that just perpetrated evil non-stop. And then we are watching it from mostly Daniel's perspective here, so we see how Daniel struggles with the evil, like, that he does. But it's not enough to forget that he's committing evil, first degree kind of thing, like first degree, like, act of violence, like he conceives it in his heart, or it's kind of spontaneous too, so, but most of it is just conceived, yeah. The way he conceived trickery in his heart to deceive people of their land, to buy their land for pennies. And I think he got his due what he was due, when, because of his pride and, caught up in his own hubris, he instead of him going to become a millionaire, he sells for 150K, and it's obvious there's no satisfaction that comes from that. It's obvious there is no pleasure, there's no fulfillment, because at the end of the day, we get to watch him, like, wither away, like a miserable old crone. If I say crone, you're thinking of woman, but no, this is a man. Like, okay, let's just say, like, a miserable old wizard, yeah. And it's like he's filled with so much. The blackness of his heart is so, the darkness in his heart is so, you know like quicksand, yeah, like the oil that he so desperately used to prospect after, yeah. That's how blackened his life is, and there's no way out. It's sticky, it's gooey, it's everywhere, and it's inflammable, yeah. So like I'm like you get to see where he gets to the point where he realizes that at the end of the day, like you can see it, watching him, that he probably would have had a more fulfilling life, like as a prospector, somebody that keeps on, you know, digging up for new minerals in the earth, going on these adventures of finding new things. You can see at in the beginning, like when he's prospecting or looking for silver, he breaks his ankle, in the process of like climbing up and out of the hole in the ground, but he determinedly crawls with his find up the valley, like, crawls up to go and sell it and all of that. And then we now get introduced to a child that he's carrying around, and this child is everywhere. This child is an infant, and he's bringing the child to where he's, drilling for oil and all of that. And I'm just looking at this child there. I'm confused why the child is there. I'm confused. I don't even clock it. Hello, Jeffrey. I don't think you know me, so I don't know how you love me forever and always, but I don't know. I appreciate the sentiment, but welcome to the chat, Jeffrey. My name is King. So the child is there, and there is no single like woman in sight. There's only men, because it is a drilling site and they are drilling for oil. And I'm like, okay, okay. Now, like, what is this baby doing here? No explanation, nothing. Which is one thing I actually love about movies from that time period. Yeah, when I say time period, early 2000s. Yeah, nobody's there spelling shit out for you. The director just has a story to tell, or like the writer has a story to tell. Yeah, and you are going to follow this story. Nobody, if you don't keep up with the story, good luck. If you are lost by the wayside, good luck. You can watch it again. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the chat. If you're lost on the wayside, good luck. Nobody's going to stop for you. Nobody's going to break things down for you. Which, if you compare it to these days now, everything is literally being spoon fed to the audience. Like, things like audiences are not allowed to rack their brains, at stories anymore, and plot lines and devices used, to tell stories. Everything is just like, do you know why this person did this thing? This is this. Did you get it? Let's get it again. Let me show you again. And they keep beating this dead horse, and then you come to the end of the movie, and it's just like a waste of time. It was a waste of, like, time basically. So, and it's so funny because now that we're obsessed about keeping, like, the way the world is going, it's as if, oh, everybody wants you to save time. Let's not rack our brains. Let's not read books. Let's not spend time on long form content. Um, let's digest, let's make everything digestible, and at the end of the day you still end up wasting time. So it's like, who is doing who? What are we talking about here? Well, anyways, back to the story. So the story I'm talking about, the movie I'm talking about, is oil. Yeah, there will be blood, sorry. Anyways, so the baby, eventually we come to see the baby being attached to our main character, Daniel, and he's carrying the baby on a train, and that those days it was just like real transport. Yeah. And one thing that Daniel, really has a hard time of is the delivery prices. Oh, let's look at the shipping prices here, to ship and railroad prices to ship oil, that he has dug, like, drained from the ground or from a well, to the people that want to buy, or suppliers or whatever, want to ship it to them. So the cost of it is really, I think it was really hitting hard in his profits. Hello, Hamarat. Hi, welcome to the chat. My name is King. And he acts as if he's this, like, like, not act. He is a businessman in that sense. Like, if you think about it, he's a businessman. Oh, this is Turkey language, Turkey, but I don't understand Turkey. Sorry, I don't speak it and I don't understand it. But welcome from Turkey. Let me screenshot it so that I might be able to translate it later. That would be something friendly and nice. So, yeah. So what was I talking about? So he's taking this baby everywhere, And the baby grows, to 9 years old, and we see him come upon a town with this child. Now this child is like, what? Yeah, it's a child, 9 years old boy, and the boy's name is HW. That's all we know about his name. Calls him HW. And so anyways, they get to this town, and we see a crowd of residents, landowners at a meeting with, him, and he's convincing them that he is going to make, like, he's going to prospect their land, and he knows that there's oil here, but they have to sell it to him to drill. Hello, singer. Hello, Paco. Welcome to the chat. Hi. So they this town in particular are divided. They don't want, some of them want him here, some of them don't want him here, and it's like, I'm not going to waste my time here. So he has got to this level of security in his work that if he comes upon a very divided group of people, he doesn't stress about it. He's like, "Toh, you don't want the money, I'm going." So he can always find, opportunities wherever he goes. So anyways, he leaves this town and he goes back to his office on this particular night with his son and his partner. He's not a partner, but someone that works with him, but is very close in his dealings with him. So they are there, they're having just a random evening, and then a man walks in. And this man walks in. Immediately I see him, I'm very happy. Don't tell him here, license the work and oil, never give up your land. Yellow Planet. I'm actually talking about this movie, There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you've seen it, and it's about this sort of premise where oil and land and all of that, yeah. But I'll keep this in mind, Yellow Planet. In case I have a land that has minerals, yeah, I'll keep it in mind that I should not sell the land. I should just license it. Thank you for that tip. I appreciate it. So what was I saying? So a man walks into the. You've seen it, yeah? Oh, okay. I saw it for the first time last night, yeah. Please, I want you to tell me what you enjoyed about the movie. Like, why is it a good movie to you? You understand? And I don't know if you can explain for me the Eli and Paul thing. Were they actually twins, or was Eli just a scam artist that tried to, double cross, not double cross, but kind of like steal money from Daniel? It doesn't look so to me, yeah, but it just thought, I don't know if it is just plain evil that makes Daniel, you know, do that to Eli at the end of the movie. So, like, just tell me your thoughts on the movie. So, as I was saying, this man walks into the office and he's a very quiet man that has this assured air around him. And he sits at the table, or they ask him to sit at the table anyways, and he starts to tell them something. He starts to give them information, like, not information, but he proposes something to them. He says, what if I told you about a place where oil was literally on the surface of the ground? Yeah. Thank you, Brian. How am I going to take lunch now? I'm far away. So. It's like, what if I told you this land, about this place where the oil was literally on the surface of the ground? You didn't have to drill so far, and yeah, it's just all over the land. You understand? And he's like suspicious. I'm sure he gets those kind of tips on a daily. Yeah, but this strange, this mysterious man that walks into the office, he seems very assured that even when he says, I'll give you $100, yeah, for this information, the man responds that I've raised my price to 600, because he fell for proposed, pay me 600, pay me 500, and I'll tell you where this land is. I'll map it out for you. Because he tries to, like, shakes him up, he says no, 600 instead. And they are both having this, like, tense, exchange, and HW is by his side, his partner is on the other side, and he looks at HW and he says, your son? He says yes, and like, I have two sisters, blah blah blah. Anyways, they have this tense exchange, but eventually Daniel gives in, because the way he's speaking, he speaks like somebody that knows what he's talking about, that is sure what he's saying. So Daniel says, if I give you my money and it turns out to be fake, I'm going to hunt you down wherever you are and collect it. You get? And he says, okay, no problem. And then after that agreement is made, he draws out him, they bring out a map, and this man shows him everywhere it is, and he says his own fatherland is his father's land is where the oil is on, so he just has to go to his father's place and he would see the oil or whatnot. And the man is like, okay. And this place is California, yeah. But like that's where the whole thing now, like I think going to California, yeah, is where everything, like, goes, like the story starts proper. When they get to California, that's HW and Daniel, yeah. Daniel Plainview. And there's no P in HW's name. There's nothing. I don't know if he was like a junior, but it's not a junior because W is not Plainview, yeah. So anyways, they get to this space, this land, and they approach the family. I'm fine, Brian. They approached the family, that's HW and the son. They approached it like, oh, they just came to, you know, camp in the area, you know. They came to shoot quail, and he wants to teach his son how to shoot quail and, camp and all of that, the outdoors. And Abel approaches him, like sees him coming from afar, the way it was in the old days, I guess, in America. Like that's how people lived, when you saw a stranger coming from afar, you went out to welcome them because they are on your land, and you have to, address them instantly and whatever. So this exchange happens. Abel, that's Paul's father, yeah, the mysterious man that gave this Daniel information, is named Paul. So he said, Paul's father, like that's Abel. Abel says, what are you doing here? She says, I'm coming here to hunt quail and I'll teach my son how to camp. And the synopsis of the story says that he goes around with his son the synopsis of the story says that he goes around with his son to present this harmless, aura to the people he meets, the people whose land he wants to, steal or buy for pennies. So when they see the son, they believe, because the Abel is also a family man. His family is behind him, and as he's speaking to this person, his wife, his daughters, and his son. And we don't see anything of them because they are far away. He's the head of the house. He's approaching the stranger. Anyway, he allows these two to stay on the land and like, please, can we have some water? They give him water. I say, we don't have bread, but we have potatoes. We can give you this and that to eat. And then it's like a cool welcome, yeah. They welcome him on the land, and they don't assume any wrongdoing from him. So where the family starts setting up camp, like where Daniel and HW are setting up camp, the son, Abel's son, comes to give them like water or potatoes or something, and he has the exact face as Paul. And me, I don't know the name of the son yet. Like the name of the son is not here. I don't know the name of the son. So the son gives whatever to Daniel, and Daniel looks at him and he looks at Daniel, and there's no light of recognition in this boy's eyes. Hello, Joseph. Hi. There's no light of recognition in this boy's eyes when he's talking to Daniel. I'm fine. How are you, Joseph? So I'm like, what is going on here? That was my first point of being stumped. That's my first stumping point, because it's like, I just saw this man. Why is he here acting like he doesn't know Daniel? And I don't know if Daniel felt the same way as well. That's one thing I'm curious about. For people that have seen There Will Be Blood, like, what is up with Eli and Paul? What is up with Eli and Paul? It's so confusing. I don't know how to understand it. Hold on, I'll come in. Sorry about that. There's distractions because of I don't live by myself, so oh, what was I talking about? Like I was talking about my confusion with Paul and Eli. Like are they? And again, Paul didn't mention any brother here when he was prospecting. Like he was trying to convince Daniel of, the oil on their land. He didn't mention a brother. He just said he has a father and two sisters. No, he said he has a father and two sisters because HW asked him, "Do you have siblings?" He said yes, two sisters. So in my mind, maybe that's the answer because when that scene was happening, I was like, and who cares about your sister? Yeah, I felt as if it was not going to be. It does not like it didn't matter. You understand? I felt like it didn't matter um, for us knowing about his siblings, but he mentioned only two sisters. He didn't mention a brother. Okay, 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 okay. I think that's my answer. there's no Paul. It's just one person. It's just one person. Like, but then the part that confused me was the aspect of the part where Abel, like Eli was beating Abel, his father, up and telling him, your son, you are a foolish man, and your foolish son has, pulled one over you. You get sometimes one cool thing about movies from that era, because it's now an era. I don't think movies right now can compare to them, but I think one thing about um that period, like I said, nobody's going to spoon feed you the answers to the mysteries in the movie you're watching. Like you are literally watching a movie and you have this idea that okay, I'm going to get to an end, of the story or the solution or the answer to this puzzle, to this mystery. But not all movies will give you that, and I think that is why the movie is so one of the great qualities of the movie. Like I think I need to accept that sometimes, a great movie will not have the answers for you. You just have to make up your own answer yourself from your enjoyment, from what you took from the movie. And I don't know, I think I'm going to watch it again. I want to see that aspect where he said, where he was talking to HW and he said, HW asked him, how many siblings do you have? He said, I have two sisters. I have two sisters. Oh my god, he didn't mention a brother. So that is why Daniel refused to pay the family the 5,000 signing bonus. And again, at the end of the movie, Eli, was pleading with Daniel for money. You get saying things like, what was he saying? That his investment went bad. He had a bad investment. But then Daniel now mentioned that Paul, I paid him $10,000, and he has a thriving business. He has three wells that bring him that fetch him an income of 5K. And I'm like, what Paul? What Paul are we talking about here? And why won't Eli go to meet his brother Paul if he exists? So I don't know if Daniel is saying he paid Paul $10,000. Let's consider the option that Eli was trying to scam Daniel. Yeah, that would explain why he was so antagonistic towards Eli. And the person that even actually had a feud was not Eli. Like, okay, feud exists between like two people, yeah, but like the person that carried the brunt, like the main grudge, was not Eli. It was Daniel. Daniel was the one holding a massive grudge. You get, because like even also like when I was watching it here, as the event of the movie was unfolding, there was this part where Eli was like, when you want to open your well, I have to come and bless your well. I have to come and bless your rig and all of that. So you will tell the people that gather for the event that here comes the Son of God, blah 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 blah, and he blesses the world. But instead, um, Daniel says it about himself and asks his youngest sister, that's Eli's youngest sister, Mary, to be the one to, come up and be acknowledged by the crowd. And the world is even named after her, Mary, something, something well. And it's like, this guy is so, like, he's so, like, he has a serious grudge against Eli. For Eli to, then again, if you think about it, if Paul was Eli, or if Paul is Eli, why would he collect such massive amount of money and come back to the family? You guys come back to live with his family, you know? But then again, another thing, you see that Eli started having renovations for the church, and I thought maybe that was because he had got received the signing bonus promise from Daniel, but no, he had not received the signing bonus from Daniel. He, where did he get the money to renovate the church, to build a whole new structure and all of that? Like, I was just stumped, to be honest. Like I didn't process all these details, carefully. Like when I was watching it, like the event was like making my heart thump so bad because I was like scared that somebody was going to kill somebody. Yeah, and I think it happens. The title of the movie is There Will Be Blood. Yeah, the name of it is There Will Be Blood. So there was blood eventually. Yeah, like a blood field. There was blood, and it ended with Daniel, crushing Eli's head or something. And at the end of the movie, after doing that, he says, I'm done. Like, I'm done. And okay, now the other aspect of the movie I want to talk about is his relationship with his son, HW. You get, HW is more or less like um an apprentice, yeah, or was more or less an apprentice for his father's, drilling. He started to knew, like, sorry, started to know, sorry for that. He started to know how to spot, he could recognize oil when he saw it. He could scope out the place for his father, and he knew what to look for exactly. And also, HW rarely spoke. He was very, very shrewd. Like, he's a very, very shrewd child, yeah. But he's not antisocial because he was very friendly with Abel's family, like the children, the little girls, yeah, especially Mary. So like they're the same age, so like he was very social with her and all of that. But HW is a very shrewd little boy. And that's why it really broke my heart because when I saw it as there will be blood and I saw HW, I was like, okay, maybe HW will end up dying, maybe something like horrific would happen to HW, as per Eli beefing Daniel. But the way HW ended up being disabled, like, it was not anybody else's fault but his father's, you know. A child should not, play unsupervised in dangerous areas like a drilling site, yeah. But he was way up on the platform, watching the workers drill. And what happened? Then gas, because and again, a lot of ignorance, is reflected. Ignorance of how petrochemicals are, or like hydrocarbons, yeah. Like, if you are digging for crude oil does not just come as one separate compound. Like, it is a host of various hydrocarbons here together. So it's the process of refining that separates it into these materials that people use for like petrol, diesel, methane gas, cooking gas, different kind of gases there. So, and something about gases like released from crude oil is that it is volatile, it is combustible, and it is how to say this, what to say, it is all those things, yeah. It is volatile, yeah. It is not a stable gas. So friction of a metal rubbing up, against, like, friction of the movement of the gas, it will come up as what, an explosion, when it is found. Usually, if it is passed through, if it is forced through, a space, it can explode. And that's what happens. They are drilling for oil and oil is coming out, and then it starts to bubble. So that is, they found methane gas, and the gas explodes and everything blows up. And unfortunately, HW is caught up on the platform and he's thrown back a ways, And then when he falls back, I heard a sickening crunch, like he was so devastating, and I was scared that maybe he had become paralyzed. Yeah, but thankfully it was not the case of paralysis, because I think that would have hurt Mr. Mr. Plainview more than anything. Instead, he was, his eardrum burst, I guess, because he was too close to the site of the explosion. He was literally above it, and he's a child. So, anyways, he loses hearing. And the day he loses, like, when it happens, um Daniel is distraught. He's hot. He's like, my son, get HW, get HW. Everybody, tries to save him, and they save him, they move him away from there, but the damage has been done already. And he starts to say things like, oh, I can't hear myself. I can't hear myself. I can't hear my voice. I can't hear my voice. He's panicking. He's distraught as well. But when Daniel manages to put HW to sleep, he comes out and he's laughing with his partner, and he's like laughing. Hello, Tyrus. Good morning. How are you today? How is work? When he comes out, he's like, hello, Val there. Welcome to the chat. Work, Abby. I hope it's not stressing you out, man. I hope you're having an easy time of it, no matter what. Or even if you are not, I hope you plan how to rest properly after you're done. So, I'm talking about this movie. I don't know if you've seen this movie. There will be blood, Tyrus. Have you seen it? It's by I think Daniel Day-Lewis is the main actor. I'm not sure. But and I like Paul Dano, so Paul Thomas Anderson is the director. I wonder if you've seen it, because I have questions. Thank you for the compliment, Tyrus. I should pray for you. I hope nothing wrong is happening. Oh, I hope you're okay. What is going on? I hope nothing is going on. Oh no. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry about that. Like I said, I hope you are able to, take care of yourself. Don't push yourself too much, please. Even though, it's work, you have to push yourself. I don't know. Especially your type of work, you just have to push yourself. What I would say is, like, don't over, stretch yourself. Yeah, I guess, work is good at the end of the day. It's good that you're getting contracts and jobs, yeah. At the end of the day, that's a good thing. So that's a good thing. I'm happy that your business is doing well, though. If you focus on your business, come to America. Sponsor me now, RJ. Sponsor me. I have a coffee. If you want to donate to my coffee to sponsor me, I have a coffee. If you want me to, where in America? Sef, depends. RJ, where in America? America is also very scary right now. Florida. Oh, I've heard things about Florida. I've heard things about Florida. Sponsor my trip, don't worry. I'll think about it. Think about it. I have a coffee if anybody wants to donate to the channel. I need a lot of support, so when I'm stable here first. Oh, I have WhatsApp, but I don't exchange my details on stream. You can email me though. My email is in the description. I have Instagram. You're working on something, Tyrus. What are you working on? What are you working on, Tyrus? What are you working on? Has everybody had lunch? To a big blessing. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, Tyrus. More blessings come your way, I hope. I hope for you have more blessings. Hello, Paco, with the fire emojis. Today is feeling a bit slow. I don't know, maybe because of the way my night went. I had something of a turbulent kind of sleep. I don't know. I don't even know when I fell asleep, and I woke up when the sun had already come out. So it was just like, where am I? Oh, thank you, Tyrus. One day, one day you read my book. One day you read my book. Subscribe to the channel, like the chat. I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Darius. Thank you for the encouraging words. I can do it. Aja, aja, I can do it. Aja, aja. I can do it. I can do it. Thank you. I've heard funny things about Florida actually. Not funny, haha. Funny, weird. So I don't know. I feel like it is one place I might. Heard funny things about the place. I like that meme. Eh? Not funny, haha. Funny, weird. I feel like there might come a time where I'll be doing something, yeah, and I'll have to like put on stream when I am doing something, yeah, where I'll be like, thank you, Paco, thank you, Paco. I'll put on something. Where are you from, Paco? Zamora. That name is very unique. I think I'll put on stream like when I'm maybe doing like something like a part-time thing. Maybe when I'm at the store, you know, I'll put on the I'll put on the I'll put on live stream. I wonder how it will be then because I would not be too focused on the stream, or I would be partially focused on the stream, and I'll be answering like customers and all of that, basically kind of like a sales job. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that for a while. That will be later in the year, this year. I don't know when, but that will happen. And I think streaming will be fun then. Jonathan, long time. How are you this afternoon? I'm fine. Where are you from, Paco? Jonathan, how is work now? How are you today? So that you're around today. You have missed our story, but you can rewatch it in the other videos after that day. Espana. Oh, welcome. I don't think I've had somebody from your side. My first um Spanish visitor to the stream. I hope you subscribe though. Subscribe. Paco. I wish I could speak Spanish here. I'm also trying to learn 32. Cool, 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 cool. That's nice. A full grown adult. That's cool to know. Work is fine. How about your family? I hope you're okay. Your health is okay as well. I keep thinking of this song. I don't know, it was very popular then. This song by this artist, Nusa. And he was saying, is this song where it's like, that song is Pray For You, you know? I mean, I'm not a religious person, but then it was all the rage, you know? A lot of Christians, like Christian youths were singing the song. And it was not even very, that time, it was not even Christian enough for me. I felt it was a worldly song, yeah, back then. But now, when I think of the song, I see all the old coloring of Jesus Christ and Christianity on it. Christianity on it, so it's like um where those anyways, is this song Pray For You, and the song is just playing in my head here. I can't play songs on stream because copyright here, and even at that self, it wouldn't show, like, because I'm using my phone, but the song is in my head. I go always pray for you. And it's like, why? Why do you want to pray for people? But I feel like it's kind of like a love language here for a religious person. Even though Christians weaponize prayer, you know, to kind of deny your humanity. No, thank you, Paco. I don't do things like that. If you ask me for that again, you will not see it. It's quiet, yeah. Sorry. I shifted from the other side. See that the position of my stream is different. I'm facing, like, I'm backing the wall instead of the door. So I think I'm farther away from the noise than usual. I'm in the same position though. Jonathan, thank you. I don't know. I guess the sun shined on me today properly. Maybe that's why. Thank you for that. So that song is in my head, like, I will always pray for you. Dun, dun, dun. I will always pray for you. May the grace of dun, dun, see you through. I will always pray for you. As all of us they go our separate ways. I wanted to read this book, but I don't know, I'm feeling a bit weak on the inside. I've been a bit weak, and again, the book is so complicated and convoluted. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it when I am, feeling stronger. So instead of what I plan to do, I'm just like chilling on the stream today. So you can tell me anything you want to tell me today. Like, tell me stories. I want to hear your stories too. Tyrus, your mentor is coming to Africa in January. Where in Africa? There are plenty countries. Africa is a continent. My country is Nigeria. There are plenty countries. Where in Africa? Ask your mentor to be specific, so I'll know. You can tell me something that's going on in your life today, Jonathan. I want to hear stories from people, my subscribers, you guys. Tell me something interesting about, or even if it's not interesting, just ordinary about your day today. I will always pray for you. No, it's not about resting. No, I don't know. It's just inside. I just feel so weak. Sometimes it just happens like that. I just feel so weak. Ghana is so close by. Ghana is our neighbor. Yeah, coming to our side of Africa, West Africa. Ghana is our neighbor. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have a fun time. Nigeria and Ghana, they are like neighbors here, but you have to visit, like, you have to travel by plane to go to Ghana from Nigeria, and you have to travel by plane to come to Nigeria as well from Ghana. Even if I fall from you. January. Wow. That's wonderful. Oh. I hope you have fun over there and you enjoy the local dishes. I've never been to Ghana though. A lot of Nigerians used to go to Ghana to school in universities to study. So and they had like okay experiences there. It was cool in Ghana. So I assume you have fun in Ghana as well. You guys are coming to work or start a business or something. Why are you coming to Ghana? What are you going to do in Ghana? I mean, not why, but what are you doing in Ghana? Oh, that would be so cool. But I don't know if I was separated by a whole, plane ride. So, but it's okay. Just let me know how you experienced it, yeah? How you enjoyed yourself or you succeeded at what you went there to do. Even if I far from you, you go always be my heart now. True. Oh, hello, Mantan. Hi, hi. My name is King. I just want to let you know, say, whatever I do, I will always pray for you. Pray for you. I'm not praying for anybody. Why would I pray for anybody? If you pray for yourself, I'm sure it will be much, much effective. My mentor is doing business and he wants me to help. Wow. That's a great opportunity. Oh. Wow. I hope it works out properly, like you guys succeed. Pray for you, Mantan. Are you religious? I'm not religious. I know how to cook. I don't like doing it. Jonathan, do you know how to cook? I don't like cooking. No. It's too stressful. Wow, Tyrus, that is so exciting. Wow, January is just around the corner. How are you going to now do now? Like, how would you leave your business in America, and come? Will you give somebody like I hope you are starting to, make plans for your business when you leave. Hello, Yvonne. Good afternoon from over here. I'm from Suriname, so I don't know that place. But cool, cool, cool. Welcome to the chat. I've never had somebody from your side of the world before. Thank you for your well wishes. Jonathan, I know how to cook. Oh, why are you asking? Why are you asking? Do you want to send me groceries? Groceries are so expensive. If anybody wants to send me groceries, it's Gary. I'm interested in Gary from your side of the country. Well, I'll help my mentor, but I'm not moving there. He's going to be there for a while. Oh, okay, 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 okay. That's okay. Because I was thinking about your own business. Yeah, it's not like you just leave your stuff here. But you would show up, I guess. Anytime you show up, you can just chat me. Yeah, chat me up on my email or Instagram if you have. You want to send me groceries, Jonathan? Send me Gary. Gary is my favorite. My favorite Nigerian food item, Gary. I can chew Gary for Africa. So, and again, there's a way every state in this country makes Gary. So all the states I've been to, yeah, my most like pleasurable experience has been trying Gary. When I went to Jos, I did not even bother with yellow Gary. I was taking white Gary, and I don't drink it too. I just chew it. Yeah, I like the way it tastes. The way they refine it. Yeah, it's different. Abby now. As I'm happy that your business is doing well, Tyrus. Please, nobody deserves to starve. Okay, I'm so happy your business is doing well. Actually, groceries are so Gary is cheap. How do I receive it? I think you can send it through moto. Abi, this them God is good. Does it come to your side? Does it come to your side? Does God is good come to your side? I think all this, like, even like buses here, normal like traveling buses to carry food items for people. I think you can go through GIG. Want to send me Gary? Are you serious? I will accept your Gary. Oh, eh? It's just for me to go to the park and collect it. I hope, like, you said you are from. Is it Worry? Is it Worry you are from? Yeah? Yellow Gary. Oh, I'm interested in yellow Gary. Yellow Gary is so important. Well, like, it depends on. GIG used to come to my side. Like, there's a station in my area, so I can receive it from there. But I don't know if they would carry food stuff for you, Sha. Also, all these yellow buses. I live in Lagos now. I live in Lagos. If you just take it to any station that is coming to Lagos, like if you follow all these yellow buses, wherever they stop in Lagos, I'll just go to meet them and I'll collect it from them. The GID station in where um, I think they have station in Ikotu market. So Ikotu is far from me, but you can go, you can visit me. You can send it to Ikotu. Lagos or Lagos. But go to email, abeg. I don't want to drop my details online, please. If you email me, then we can talk about it. Mr. Unknown, Gorav, how are you? How has school been? Jota bye. How have you been now? Longest time. You could always stay my heart now. True. Oh, if anybody wants to send me something, you can email me so that I'll give you directions to go. True. I just want to let you know, see, whatever I do, go. Test. Oh, good luck. Good luck. 100 marks to you. Don't be scared, okay? You can do this. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you, Mister. I trust you, Gorav. You're smart. You do it. You get 100 marks. Tell me how the test goes, okay? When you're done. I wish you all the luck, all the success. 100 marks to you, girl. 100. Don't cry. Shay, there's no need now. But you just send me Gary money. If you want to, I beg. Hello, Beruz. Salam. Salam alaikum, Beruz. Salam alaikum. Sunday, good afternoon. Welcome to the chat. I will always pray for you. Hey, where are you from? I don't recognize this flag. I don't recognize. Sorry, I'm not a flag. I know a lot of flags, yeah, but like countries are not so popular. I may not recognize your flags. This is Nigeria, Sha. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Good afternoon, Sunday. Good afternoon. Cost of GIG is crazy. Like even road transport at all is insane. Yeah. The only thing about it is I just wanted to like taste the yellow guy from your side. That's just all. It's not about the buying of the Gary. There's like Gary here plenty, but the taste of it is what I was just curious about. Like now, if you go to my mom's village or when my mom's relatives visit, they always bring Gary, and the way they make it there, it's like yellow Gary. It's so delicious. I don't know how to say. You can literally, obviously, me, I'm a chewer of Gary. I chew Gary a lot, so I cannot just say you can try. You can chew any Gary, but the way it tastes extra, like a meal, yeah. So I feel like every tribe, every village has the way they used to make their Gary. So that's one thing I like exploring. Like when I was traveling everywhere, I used to, when I was, finding myself in different states for school, for, I don't know, looking for work and all of that, I was exploring the Gary of the area. Just was okay for white Gary. I didn't like the way they made their yellow Gary. In just their yellow Gary is like stony like this, like it's not you be tasting stone, no, but the pebbles are like the grains of the Gary are too refined, like it's too smooth, and I don't like Gary that is too smooth. I like Gary that has like chaff, chaff in it, and I like Gary that is a bit damp, like white Gary that is a bit damp, not too dry. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I'm a Gary connoisseur. I don't know if this is be embarrassing, but I don't care. I love Gary, so whatever. Um, yeah. The only thing Nigeria is just an annoying place. Like road transport is unsafe. You don't know when you get it, and it's also very expensive. Yeah, so that's just the stress of sending things. Like sending things unless you have a driver, that goes on the road. Then you can now negotiate good prices. But if it's just any car park you go to, they'll start telling you amount and all those stories. Um. So I'm curious about everybody's day. Gorav said he's having a test today, and I hope Gorav does well on his test. Gorav is my younger brother here, my Chutabai from India. Gorav is having a test today. Oh, I hope he does well on his test, and he does not, he's not scared. What else? So tell me about your day, you guys. Like, tell me what you are doing today. I don't know why this thing keeps falling out. Tell me about your day. What are you doing today? For me, I actually plan to come on here and narrate this book I'm reading here, but I feel so weak inside, and it started like halfway through the stream, golden ass. And also, I was talking about this movie that I saw, and what they call it, There Will Be Blood. I was talking about it and narrating it. I don't know, it just started getting so weak, started feeling so weak. Yeah, I don't think it's about rest. I think it's more. It just happens. Yeah, I need to stock up on vitamin B's and folic acid. Yeah, so that I'll have more energy. I'll have more energy. And then I was talking about this song that was in my head. Yeah, this Nosa. I always pray for you. Yeah, that song was so popular. I wonder where he is now. I don't think he tried to make anything after that. I also wonder if he has put it on Spotify. He should put it on Spotify and Apple so that he'll be getting um royalties or something from it there. I don't know if he has made music. Back then, like I said earlier, I was like talking about how Nosa is talking about prayer, like praying for people that he cares about, you know. And for me then, as a very religious fellow, I was very, 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 very fanatic. So Nosa was kind of unserious to me because people used to sing the song as if it was this sort of um like religious song, like a Christian song. It's not secular song. But me, I felt it was secular, and I was very convinced of its secularity. But now that I'm no longer religious here and I've abandoned all of that nonsense, to me now I can't even sing the song without feeling the ick, because it's like I don't care about this, like I don't think prayer is anything useful or something. Yeah. Um and if I want to compare it now, yeah, it's like, why did I think back then that Nusa song was not religious enough for me? Why was it still kind of secular in my mind? And I think it's because of its enjoyment. Yeah, the enjoyment factor of the song. I liked the song back then, but I could not fully enjoy it, because it felt like a sin listening to it. And now that I'm no longer in, the faith or whatever they call it. It's just like most of the whole value of being a Christian, and the whole point of being a Christian and believing in God and being religious and following the faith is that you have to learn to not be happy in the things you enjoy. Anything that brings you extra happiness as a Christian, eventually your mind or the spirit of God is going to tell you that that thing is a sin. You know, anything that makes you happy, is going to eventually the spirit of God is going to tell you that that thing is a sin. Like I saw this clown on TikTok that somebody showed me. Somebody was telling me about this clown on TikTok that he was saying that the Holy Spirit asked him not to use perfume anymore, and I was like, okay, what is why? And he goes on to say he's actually a perfume guy, somebody that loves perfume. He likes smelling good and all of that. And um then one day he said the Holy Spirit was like, no, you should not do this and do this, or like you should throw away all your perfumes. Yeah, it is like an idol. It has become an idol to you. And he threw away his perfumes. Perfumes are costing a lot of money. That he spent a lot of, and I know he's probably doing a grift to raise this audience of believing followers, so he will become maybe a religious leader, because now in Nigeria the most popular thing and how to make it is when you are a, what do you call it, a pastor. Pastors are the new scammers now. Like they're the new genre of scamming, where anybody can open a church, and then because men mostly unite in misogyny, they focus on women as the point of their ugly sermons, as, oh, as women you should submit, as women you should not be a human being, you should be a slave and all of that. So more men will be likely to believe them and join their churches. But the thing about, but also women will also join those churches, because women are taught to believe in their own subjugation and subservience or whatever under this patriarchal system. But my point is that this one on TikTok, yeah, he was, in his comments, people were like praising him, like, yes, yes, I've always been saying it, I've always had this idea that yes, perfume is not good, perfume is not. And the way I looked at his age, he looked like somebody that is probably like in the same generation as I am, and I was thinking about how, like, we growing up were very, like, we made so much jokes about our parents, pastors. Like, even though me, I was a religious fanatic, I did not join that joke. I was very obedient and I was calm and I was a gentle child and all of that. So I didn't join the joke about my parents' faith. I respected my parents. They were my all. In fact, they were my gods. So. I'm just saying it here that this, we grew up and we had this point in secondary school. Everybody make jokes about how deeper lifers, they used to know they don't used to wear a ring, they don't used to watch TV, they don't used to put on perfume. MFM, they don't used to allow women to retouch their hair. MFM used to do this about women. And so which other church? There are different churches, with different extreme beliefs, and rules for their congregation. And we made fun of it as kids in school when we're far away from home, when we're not like with our parents, when we didn't have these watchful, surveilling eyes of the church over our lives. We made fun of it. There was like comedians that would come up and make fun of pastors and all of that. Yeah. But now, these same people that are in my generation that I know grew up in that era of rebelling against parents, and they also had their rebellious phase. They now come online and they start telling you not to wear perfume, because perfume is from the devil, or is an idol or whatever psychotic reasons he gives, and I feel like it's just the circle of life, like circle of history, yeah, where people are just, like it's just deeper life again, rebranded, but now you're on TikTok and you have a social media platform and you're a celebrity, you're a public figure, you're an influencer, religious influencer. And it's like there was a time, like I said, deeper lives don't watch TVs, yeah, they throw away their TVs, like that era where TV came to, like was now put in every home in Nigeria. They deemed that TV was of the devil, that it was going to make you, turn and valid, yeah, aside from the psychotic, religious aspect of it. Television does a lot of propagandizing and indoctrination, and all of that. But that is not where these people are coming from. These people are saying that the literal devil in your TV, and is going to watching TV is going to take you to hellfire. Yeah. And they throw away their TV. Women bond clothes. They refuse to wear new clothes. They refuse to buy new clothes. They refuse to use cosmetics like powders and soap. There are some bathing soaps too that they deem are not religious, because the models on the cover of the soap, on the package of the soap, like they look like mommy water. So there's this thing in Nigeria that, like, Nigerians call mermaids mommy water, yeah, because they believe that they are real creatures, and and as all mermaid law goes, they are just there to like steal the lives of sailors and kill them and lead them to their death. So in our country they call them mommy water, and they are like the focus of most deliverance sessions in churches. So when you see a woman that is fair and she has a lot, then I feel fair, like light skin, yeah, and she has long hair and she's pretty, like you have to be pretty. Oh. But mostly if you are fair, nobody will. If you are fair, you're light skin already, you're already in the category of possible mommy water affiliations. Like it's just what it is. Like when I was in secondary school, yeah, boarding school, we were juniors, just one, yeah, and I had this classmate that had long hair. Like she even had features that seemed as if she was from this Sahel region, like Fulani people, yeah. It felt like she was kind of like, half caste. That's what we used to call them, half caste, yeah. So, and her hair was so long, like it was hair, and long hair was so like glorified to us little girls then. And this girl was having a peaceful life, yeah. All of us were having a peaceful life. First year, just one of the I wasn't there first time. Second time I joined the school. So second time was cool, nothing strange happened. Then as she's tall, she had long hair. Then by third time, this other girl in our room, because we're in boarding school, yeah, this other girl in our room, she now started though. She says she's from this one of this fanatic church. Just think of the most mimi church, the church that has gone on the meme, because I don't want to specify the girl, but it's a church that is so meme, like popular for memes and all of that. But that particular church, she was from there, and that church that year, they were just uprising. Yeah, they just started gaining popularity, but they were notorious very fast, like for their fanaticism. So this girl, her parents attended this church, and obviously I think she had issues with her parents, had issues like their marriage was not good, and she told us all these things. We did not ask. The children like to dump about their parents, yeah. So I don't know, she started saying things that this girl I told her is, has long hair, long natural hair, like started saying that this girl was a witch. Oh my god. And me, at that point I was already attending my very fanatic church, but it has not really sunk into my brain, like it has not really done a number on me, yeah. So I was not crazy about all this religious psychosis nonsense. It was just, for me, I was just going to church and coming back home. It wasn't so serious for me. So, and I went to boarding school that period. So when you started saying that this girl is a witch, like their bunk beds were like this, like she was here, that one was here. So she would say that in the night the girl will come to her that the girl is a witch. But the funny thing about the girl she was accusing of being a witch is that this girl had started having marks all over her body. Do you get? Which is what I don't understand. That part of the story, I don't understand it now. So today, this girl started having like marks. When somebody uses long fingernails to like scratch you, and then those like little surface wounds are left behind here. It's not deep, it's just surface wounds. So this girl started having like marks on her body, and this girl, before, she was like, I think she was like my kind of skin tone, yeah, for my memory, or maybe she was darker, I don't know. But this girl started having like bruises on her hand, and I saw them. It was just like once, so, but after a while it was all over her body, even her face, started suffering the marks. We're like, what is going on? And as the marks kept increasing in like size and frequency, like it was every night now, she was, when she wakes up every day, we'll see new marks. This other one grew in her frenzy of accusing her of being a witch and said that this girl is a witch in our room. She needs to go for deliverance. And my pastor said this. Anytime she comes back from holiday, my pastor said this, my pastor said this, my pastor said this. And the one, I think the one that finally, like, that was the period where this other girl she was accusing left the school. It was one period she came back and she started this whole, like, she got the whole hostel in a frenzy. She was saying that my pastor mentioned her by name. She mentioned her by name. Look at my Bible. He put her name in the Bible so that this thing will not happen. Jeez, every little thing she would just, like, she was doing this whole mm, for the girl, and it was kind of ostracizing. And me, in that time in that school, yeah, I'd also experienced a form of ostracizing, yeah, where the entire hostel did not speak to me. Like, they did not say a word. They pretended I was non-existent, and I was just in what, just 2 or something. I was like 10 years old then, yeah. So I didn't buy what she was selling, yeah. I didn't buy it. The only thing I felt was weird was the marks appearing on on her arm, which now that I'm even talking about it now, I feel like that could probably be this little girl's, coping mechanism. Maybe she was stressed by all these accusations of witchcraft and she started like harming herself. And I don't know if she was doing it with a blade because it was too. I don't think, like, it could be self-harm. And she could have just been, using her nails to like kind of stress each her body, or each her skin. I think she was stressed by the accusation. She was stressed by the senior, because the senior that was supposed to be in charge of our room, that girl, I'm still looking for her online. If I ever see her anywhere, the kind of thing I will say to her, oh my god, if I come in contact with her like face to face, I'll remove my shoe and break her head, I swear. Like, I don't care. Wherever I find her in this life, I'm going to make sure, because that girl, she just, when I came to that school, yeah, she joined the term after. And when I came to that school, we didn't have any senior in our room. We were just like a room full of juniors, and it was peaceful. We were regulating ourselves. It was okay. But when she now joined her room the following day, she was also this kind of paranoia kind of person. Like, she had like things where she would just start to suspect you of something and she would run with it because she has all the power. She's our senior, like far, far ahead of us. We're like rats, and she was like big, tall, and she's not tall, not tall, average height, but because of how small we were, she seemed like a giant in her eyes. And she was on the side of this girl that was doing witch hunt, yeah. So she kind of made it a whole, like, she was now talking to other seniors about it in the other rooms, and she was telling them, like, she was agreeing with this little girl's madness, yeah. This little girl's attention stunts, yeah. So this other one that was suffering all of the attention, she now became like this pariah. Like, we wanted to relate with her, but it was kind of hard because it was like when anybody played with her, she'll come and start whispering to that other one, the religious one, come and whisper to you and tell you that, did you take something from her? Don't eat anything from her. If you eat something from her, you will see her, you will fly, you will go and it was insane. And it's not even bringing me back to this whole nonsense of rapture nonsense here. This whole thing that they said rapture will happen yesterday or whatnot, yeah, that everybody was quitting, some fools were quitting their jobs, and writing manifestos and selling their properties because they want to go to heaven and all of that. So, like, I don't know, like, when I was there, like, the religious psychosis, yeah, I feel like then, I'm so glad that I was not so serious about religion then, because I would have probably joined this girl, to harm this other girl. But me, I did not care. I was a bookworm. Like, if I ever think about it, I used to go to the library. I would take stack of books because boarding school, your days are filled. So, but after exams, after tests, there's always this space where you can just read endless books, and I would take advantage of that. I read so many Nigerian authors. I would just go to empty classes, sit down there from morning till it was time to go to the hostel, because we're not doing anything in school. So you go to school, you leave the hostel by 8, or 7, but you be in school till 3. So you go back to the hostel for lunch and all of that. So, but me, I would stay in the class. Everybody would go immediately after assembly. Everybody would go back to the hostel to chill because we're not doing anything in school. But me, I'll go to the library, pack a stack of books, go to an empty classroom and read. Like, oh my god, it was fun as hell. Like, I would read. That's why I read this horrible book. It's not horrible, it was good, but the story was so bad. Joys of Motherhood by Buchi Emecheta. I read that book, and the thing about that book was like interesting. Eventually, like let me conclude that story. Eventually, that girl left the school. I think her parents took abroad. I saw her mom once. Her mom looked like an American, yeah. So whenever she came for visiting day, she always had like lots and lots of provisions, and she was very generous with it. She was not stingy, she was kind, she was chill. She's that of child that time this girl that they were calling a witch, no matter how much seniors beat her, she would never cry. She had, like, she was the one that held the record for that. She never shed a tear, and senior used to really test her. She never cried. So when this witch thing was going on, they were not saying that that's why she does not cry. She has an extra layer of protection from the witchcraft world and all of that. That's why she doesn't cry, and seniors would test her, and all of that. So but after that term, I think she left the country, which good for her, please. That was just insane. And when she left, that other one was not saying that later, that she now said that actually the truth is that my pastor did not call her name. I'm the one that told the pastor because I think it got to the point where they had to call. No, that was another person's story, I'm remembering. But anyways, she said her pastor did not call the name, that she's the one that gave pastor the girl's name, and all of that. And we're just like, she has left the school now. At least you're happy. Like, at least you're happy. So like, she was so weird. Like, I never liked her from the first day. That hunting girl, I never liked her. And she actually put me in trouble to this same girl. She set me up so bad, and I never cleared the air because she begged me not to tell everybody that the way she set me up was wrong. And I was also weak. It was another witch hunt thing again, but it was for a different thing. Like, she just set me up, and like seniors beat me within an inch of my life and all of that. And then at the end of the day, it was not true. It was not true. And both of us came to that moment where we saw it was not true. Like, because I was like, why would they accuse me of this thing? You get? So both of us came to that point where, like, in her face, yeah, it was not true. So because it was not true, she now begged me that I should not tell the seniors, that if I told the seniors that they would beat her, that she's sorry, she not mean it, she don't mean it. And because I was a child and I was tired and I did not even, like, the same seniors that beat me, like, I didn't feel they could give me any sort of justice if I went to meet them, that, oh, this person, see what you did to me. Like, how would they take back the hours of beating and punishment I had endured? I just brushed the whole thing off here. But anyways, that girl, her parents took her abroad, and that was just the end of her journey. And I've never seen her on any social media. Good for her. I like, really good for her. Please, I hope she's thriving, because I know she will be thriving wherever she is. Like, she was a rich kid, I think, but she the way she acted like somebody that had suffered a lot. Somebody that knew how to endure hardship. That's how she acted. So I don't know, more sometimes here in this country, when children have a lot of money, people expect them to be crybabies, to be easy to push around. But parents are very weird. They can have a lot of money and their children can still suffer. So you can't really say, you know. But anyways, the thing I want to say about that joys of motherhood is that when I was reading that book that particular day, so there's this rule in our school where that time that girls, like, we should not chew chewing gum was prohibited. So because I was the only one in the class now, I now bought gum, like contraband. We used to ask day students to bring chewing gum for us, like that time gum. So we asked day students to bring chewing gum for us, yeah, and we'll pay them. So we'll chew gum as we like in class. Then when we go to before we go to the hostel, we'll throw it away. Or make sure nobody sees us chewing gum, yeah. So that particular day, I was so happy. Like, the story was, I was caught. If you've read The Joys of Motherhood, you know how, like, very, like, immersive it is there. I was caught up in this story. I was reading it, and I was chewing the gum. It was so loud because I was the only one. Anyways, I just saw one of my seniors come into the classroom, and I didn't pay attention to them. I was like, I'm reading. And then she was just coming to me. She was calling my name so sweetly. And then I was reading. I didn't want to stand up. And I was like, oh, I can't leave this book here. She convinced me. She was like, just come. I was still chewing gum. I was not paying attention to anything. I was like, oh, I don't want to leave this, this book and all. You know this girl did, because I was so caught up in the story. I was like, let me just go with her so I can get back to my book. I was so caught up in this story. This girl led me to, I think it was it a senior or a teacher, that I was chewing gum, like, and they asked me to kneel, and they beat me, and she was just laughing maniacally, like in front of me. Then it now dawned on me that that's why she came to meet me, that she just wanted to bring me to. She could have just told me, oh, you are chewing gum, stop chewing gum. But no, she led me to this senior or to this teacher, I don't remember anymore. And I was still chewing gum in front of them, and she laughed as I was being punished. And I was like, I know, like, is it not normal that you like? I expect that, like, she was just laughing. She was like that. She was laughing at me that it's good for me. Hey, good for me, good for me. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, why? Why would you do that? I still remember it clearly because it was just so stupid, yeah. It was just so stupid, and I hated her so much. Much later, I didn't hate her like the way I hate that particular room head, yeah. But I hate her like, I just hated her so much, like, because it was just like, it's so stupid, like, it's so stupid, because that was just like somebody just wanting to take pleasure in another person's suffering, yeah. And eventually, me too, I left the school because it was just not worth it. I was suffering too much. I was too, like, the way I had a best friend too that time. That one too was suffering a lot, but she was kind of smart about her suffering. So she knew how to escape seniors that wanted to. She was in my room, but she knew how to escape that particular senior head. But me, I didn't know how to escape. Now I didn't have guts. I don't know how to escape. So when I left her, she was not telling me later that my friend. She was telling me later that senior that I said that set me up for the chingom incident, that she and her became very close, and I was like, why? How will she become close to you? Because that senior too put us in trouble again. That same stupid senior. I saw her later now in, like, on when Facebook, like all of that, Facebook, Instagram, and she was like, she that time my old Instagram account, she still sends me like greetings and happy birthdays and everything, and I don't have any grudge on her. But if I think about the stories, like, when I see her, I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her that, ma'am, the evil that he did. Oh God. Anyways, and it's like, if they became so close after I left, is it that she always wanted to be friends with my best friend? Because my best friend was very popular, and like everybody wanted to be friends with her, even though she was a junior. Because she was so cool. She had like senior sisters. And the thing about having senior sisters is that, or elder sisters, not senior, let's not use the word senior, elder sisters. The thing about having elder sisters is that they prepare you for the world of women. They teach you how to navigate like the rules that women set for especially younger girls, and the pitfalls to avoid, to not get in the way of any older like girls, trap. So like she had elder sisters, and those elder sisters prepared her for living with older girls. Me, I have zero experience with elders, like women or older girls, yeah. And so that's why most of the time, whenever I'm around older women, I feel like in a way I used to aggravate them. Aggravate them somehow, because there are just some kind of unwritten rule and codes of conduct they expect younger girls to play around them, and if you don't play according to those codes or those rules, they punish you somehow. They know how to punish you, that you know that, okay, this is why this person is punishing me, yeah? Unless your own like level of unawareness is so like high. My own is high, but it's not too high. You get, like, that's why I feel very apprehensive, yeah, when I'm going to a place that has any sort of woman or girl or female or whatever. I feel very apprehensive, because it's like, how do I behave in a way that this person does not punish me? And I think it's mostly from the trauma of living with those girls in secondary school. I think I have serious trauma around women and girls. So also the teachers that tormented me the most were female teachers. So like, it's just, I have a lot of trauma around women. even though even though my dearest friends in the world, they are girls. I tried that thing where I thought maybe okay, because women make me uneasy and I feel scared to an extent being around women or a group of girls. I thought maybe okay, I could be friends with guys, but the kind of annoyance that boys make you feel, it's not worth it. I rather brave I rather brave the unfamiliarity of being with different girls or different men than bear like with boys or men. That's so annoying, eh? Oh my god. That's so annoying, insensitive, very rude. Like it's only like I think when I meet a group of guys that I get along with, out of those group of guys, I end up making friends. I end up being friends with maybe just one and a half, one and a half. And the cool thing about me, like my experience with guys, is that I don't experience all those like trepidation that maybe I don't know if an average girl experiences it yet, but this feeling of when you go somewhere and you meet like men or boys just everywhere, I don't feel any sort of way. I feel like okay, like I'm not scared, I'm not bothered. But women, oh, I start to be stressed about how I'm being perceived, how they see me. I want them to like me. Like whenever I meet to like I want women to like me. I want to be friends with them. But I know that half of them will probably be alienated from me because I'm very odd and I would irritate the fuck out of the other half. So like I think I had one girls trip last year. No, 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I had one girls trip here. Like we didn't travel together all of us, but we met like at a certain point, for an event, and we're together. And it was these are my friends. Like I went to school with them, So we having this gathering, and I pissed off. I think I pissed off everybody. I pissed off everybody, and it was not intentional. I swear, I can promise you. I promise you, it was not intentional. It was I think it was mostly my blasé attitude, to things that they probably felt were serious, to them. That that made them angry. Like one was even cussing me out so bad, and I wasn't bothered. I was like, okay, all right. And if I think of them, I'll say, okay, these are my friends, yeah. But I was just like, okay, I don't hear. Like, I've heard. Oh, okay. And they were so angry. They wanted to. I don't know if they were trying to get a rise out of me, and it was over the most silly thing. It's just that I refused to back down for my stance, and they were insisting on their stance, and it was like as if she expected me to back down, and I was like, I'm not backing down. I think you're wrong. And she was like, no, I'm right. I'm right. And what was funny to me was that she was getting heated up. Also, I think the wine helped me because I had wine before all of that nonsense. So I was kind of in this detached space in my head. So when she was like getting heated up, I refused to back down. And I think she felt like I had no place, to tell her that she was wrong, because it was just odd. Like, what do you mean? I was like, you can believe what you believe about the situation, and I will believe what I believe about the situation, and I'll never accept what you think as right. And she was not angry about it. Like, why would you be angry that I don't agree with what you agree with? Like, and it's not anything political. It was just like, it was just stupid. It was a game. We're playing a game, and like she refused to back down because she felt she was right about the rules, and I felt I was right about the rules. And the whole game ended in that moment, because they were like the other people were like trying to ask me to like maybe give in, and I was like, no, I'm not giving in. She's wrong. She's so wrong. Can't you see that she's wrong? And I felt as if I was antagonizing her on purpose. God. And I was like, no, I just feel you are wrong. And I think it just threw her over the edge. Like everybody went to calm her down, and I was left by myself. And I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? Like. So, anyways, I think because of my desire to be liked by women and girls or people that I know, I usually put myself in this position where, you know, I put myself in positions where I'm not welcome, yeah, or where I don't fit in. That's like I started calling myself an alien as well, because I was just like tired of it all. I was like, it doesn't make sense how I don't fit in with, the people that I should fit in with, I don't fit in there. And people I'm even trying to fit in with, I also don't fit in there. So like, where do I fit in this world? And like, it's okay. I don't have to fit in into this world. I can just be an alien. I can just be an alien, and it's like that makes sense. That makes sense. It was hard for me to, but it made sense. It made sense to me that alien just made sense to me. Like I'm just an alien. And all of that to get so. I don't know. I think I've overshared today. This is what happens when I'm very, 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 when I feel like weak on the inside. I just start to reflect on my life, and the things I've lived, the realities I've lived through. Like, and it's mostly like relationships, like friendships, so called friends. Although the friends I have now, yeah, the people that I can categorically call my friends, they are like very, 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 like a very, very small number. Very small number, And they are girls, they are women. They are women. So I don't think it was me entirely. I think it was just I was just meeting people that I don't mesh with. And there's this thing that happens, like I feel like I can use that as an indicator now that if I meet a group of people, and especially no, even a boy, girl, whatever gender, like even if I meet them and I meet them and I start to do this overly excited thing, then that means I'm not being real with them. I'm I've put on a mask. And um if I put on a mask with them, like it never ever ends well, because I don't know, they end up, when they see the real me, they get like upset so bad, so bad. Like, is that not confirmation bias? Like, I wear a mask so that people can like me and bear me, or bear to be around me. And people will say things like, no, just be yourself, just be yourself. And it's like, okay, when I now be myself, yeah, it's now like, um what is that like, everybody like, no, put that back inside, like cover that shit up, we don't want to see it. So it's like confirmation bias. So instead of being stuck in that loop, yeah, I'd rather be very, very selective of the people I allow in my space. And again, I'm no more looking to join anybody's space. I'll remain where I am. I'll stay here in my space, in my comfort space, like where I'm real, where I'm myself, where I don't need to be scared of someone's perception of me, and I'll just wait. Although I'm not waiting for anybody here, but if people feel attracted to me, then whatever they see that attracts them to me is definitely going to be some aspect of the real me, you know, instead of me going out and looking for, oh, should I join this space? Oh, should I join this space? I have to join this space. Let me join this space. Like that would just make me feel as if I'm odd. Meanwhile, like there are 8 billion people on this planet. There's no way I can fully like cover every single community that exists. Do you understand? So why would I just, consider myself, this whole strange entity when, it's just that maybe I've not met people that, that resonates with my energy or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense. That makes sense. But like, yeah, I have so many boarding school stories, and I stayed in that school for just 1 freaking year. I stayed in that school for 1 freaking year. I think the people that I can call my friends from that time were the day students, because I did not see them after. I only saw them from like first period to like last period, closing time, and That was that. All the people I lived with in school were not. I ended up not, even if we were friends, our friendship fizzled out. So I have a lot of stories from boarding school, and like that senior in particular, I will still see her. I know I'll see her one day. I don't want to see her online. I want to see her face to face. So I want to see her face to face. I want to see what she looks like. I want to see how she would look like what her face would look like when she looks at me. And I'm not the only one she hurt here, but there was a certain pickiness she had on me. I don't know why. It was just weird. And also, in secondary school, I was way, way chubby. I didn't say chubby, I was fat. I was fat, and they never let me forget it. So, I don't know why you'd be angry at the fat kid. You know, everybody likes to be angry at the fat kid. And it's not like the fat kid does anything all the time. I think it's just easy, to have a punching bag in somebody that, is already facing a lot of social ostracization. Yeah, I was a fat kid and I was very, very smart. I wouldn't say I'm smart right now, but I was very, very like top of the class, kind of grades and all that. So I guess that was pissing her off so bad. There was one day they're like everybody in the hostel, like there was this thing that happened in the hostel, like everybody was like, this person knows everything that there is to know. Like there's nothing you ask this person, that's me, yeah, that they will not answer. And I was like, I didn't know about this conversation, yeah. So I was coming out from the bedroom one night, like I just had my night shower, yeah. I was coming out and I was going to my room, and then all the seniors, like, they ran to meet me and they're like, what is this? What is this? And I was like, this is this and this. And they're like, hey, she knows everything. They're like, hey, she knows everything. And to me, then I was just like, is there anything special about that? Like, there was nothing to me. It wasn't a big, like, the way they made it look like a big deal. To them, it was just fascinating to them. Like, there was no general knowledge thing you would ask me that I wouldn't know, because I touch everything. Like, I am interested in everything. Yeah. So that day, I think they didn't ask me one thing and I did not know it. So they're like, oh, you don't know this one? Okay, okay, okay. Don't worry. You learn it in biology when you get to SS what, SS what. I was like, okay. So, but I think when I think about why this senior hated me, I think it was because of something like that, where everybody in the school was like acknowledging my brains, which is stupid. Like, academia does not really, like, especially secondary school, I feel like it's not a real measurement of somebody's intelligence. All this, like, I feel like it is not really. That's why when I went to university, I crashed. I burnt so bad. I crashed and I burnt. And when I started picking myself back up, studying and all of that, I had so much feeling in my heart of grace for my peers that were struggling as well. And I did everything I could to, you know, be, available. When people were like, oh, please, can you teach me this thing, or can you study this thing with me? I'll be like, yeah, 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 sure, 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 sure. I had so many tutorials for my junior colleagues. They'll be like there's one guy that joined the school late. He's my friend now. He joined the school late, like my uni late, and he was struggling to catch up to tests and all that. And I was like, he now said that they directed him to me, and I didn't know this guy from Adam, but we started having like classes every Friday, like I think Fridays and Saturdays. We started having classes Fridays and Saturdays, and I will avail my time, and I'll just teach him, and we'll catch up. And he eventually became like really, really good. He caught up. Obviously, an intelligent student already, but he caught up, and it was just wonderful. To see him like go from stumbling, fearful to confident, and knowing, because of my help, not because of my help entirely, but like because of like through the small assistance, little assistance I was able to render to him. So this one, I'm not seeing chat. That means my chat has like glitched. Anyways, I've come to the end of my rambling session. I think I'll just rename this live to a rambling session. So thank you for being around, for humoring me and staying true. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Subscribe. I hope people subscribe today. I did not really get a lot of visitors to the chat and a lot of comments or chatting, but that's okay. It happens. Some days are just like that. So anyways, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope tomorrow is better than today. Bye bye.